So I love monster romance. That is what this whole channel is about. It's about books, and particularly monster romance books. I love monster romance, okay? And TikTok is my biggest platform right now, and Monster Book Talk is crazy, okay?
Monster romance recommendations. Guys, I'm in my monster smart era.
I'm gonna give you my top introductory monster romances.
They're books that every monster romance reader needs to have on their shelves. So I thought it'd be fun for today's video to read the 3 most popular books that I noticed, at least on Monster Book Talk, and talk about them. Yes, all of them are unhinged in some way or another. So this is going to be really interesting. I'm going to break down just generally what they all are, why I think they're popular, and give them a rating. Okay? All right, so let's go. So this is Planet Barbarians. This is a story of several human women who get stranded on an ice planet. This one particularly is Georgie's story, book 1, the planet called Not Hoth. And essentially they encounter blue-skinned horned aliens called Sakui, who have adapted to the cold with the help of an organism called a Kui, which the girls, funnily enough, call a cootie, which is almost like a heartworm that is sort of like their inner spiritual being that helps them survive and also choose a mate. And this Kui facilitates what's called resonance, which is where your Kui picks your mate. I actually already own the copy of number 1. It's Planet Barbarians, bitches, okay? I freaking love Planet Barbarians, okay? I love Planet Barbarians. I'm absolutely addicted to it, much to the point that I am currently on book 14. Okay, yeah, I read 14 books of it in like 2 months. Once you start this series, it is so hard to stop. They're so digestible, particularly if you read them via Kindle. And Ruby Dixon has them all available via Kindle Unlimited. You could just like fly right through them and you could just keep going, and it's like absolutely addicting, okay? If you go on Monster Romance Book Talk, you're probably gonna hear about the iconic Planet Barbarians. This is book 1 in the series. I actually made an entire video, okay, explaining the entire plot of this book. So if you wanna watch that, I will link it somewhere here on the screen. But honestly, do I get why this book is very popular on Monster Romance TikTok? Absolutely. It's a little weird. It does have a non-human MMC. Check. The plot is low-key unhinged, but really entertaining. Check. It is a mating situation and a breeding schmink, which is a very common thing in the Monster Romance genre. This has it. Out of all 3, this definitely, I'm going to tell you, is one of my favorite. I'm obsessed with this series. I love blue aliens. This is one of the books that kind of got me into monster romance, so I would recommend this for literally anyone, okay? Pretty special editions of the physical copies at like Barnes & Noble and Books A Million. That's where I got this. We love it, okay? We love the Barbarian. If you like the way I talk, you will love the audiobooks for Planet Barbarians, okay? The audiobook slayed. The audiobook slayed, particularly for this one. Georgie's southern Florida accent. Yes, she's from Florida. Go figure. Oh, it was so good. It was so good. Okay. I highly recommend Planet Barbarians 2. Okay. I think everyone should read it. Yes, it's kooky. It's weird. Okay. It's kooky and it's weird. But something Ruby Dixon puts in these is just so good. I'm telling you, I love it. This is 5 stars for me. This entire series is a 6-star series. I adore Planet Barbarians. And yes, he has a spur and interesting anatomy, okay? But that just makes it more fun, okay? Go read it. So next we're going to talk about Morning Glory Milking Farm. I don't have a physical copy of this, but I have read it via my Kindle, okay? And it's a short little read, actually. So I actually did not like this as much as I thought I was. All the monster romance girlies on TikTok go wild over the Morning Glory Milking Farm. Like, it is rated one of the top most popular books in this genre. I guess I get it because I think even more than Planet Barbarians, which is crazy because I think people see this and oh, this has to be one of those like crazy taboo romances. But no, Morning Glory beats this out by far, in my opinion, as far as it being taboo and like kind of off the wall. If you think this is off the wall, you don't even know until you've read Morning Glory Milking Farm. Like, the concept of that book is crazy. Like, yes, the whole plot is that she's jacking off a minotaur for a job. Pretty much. Also, ironically, gives small town romance, which I was not expecting. And surprisingly enough, I know that you might find this hard to believe, okay? But this book doesn't get extremely spicy, like, until 80%. You could even argue it's low-key a slow burn, okay? It's not a slow burn in the way that nothing happens until 80%. Obviously, there's a lot of jacking off minotaur. Two main characters, nothing happens really until 80%, which I feel like a lot of people don't talk about when it comes to this book. I just didn't find it quite as engaging as like Planet Barbarians. Not even close. The story didn't grasp me quite as much. It also very much gives like millennial core. I feel confident. Someone's gonna have to correct me. I feel confident this is written by a millennial, and that's okay, but it just didn't give you that same fantasy, let me get out of this world feeling. If anything, it felt more real. Like it was like a real small town almost. Like it almost felt like you could envision that, even though it's a town full of minotaurs and like these fantastical creatures. It didn't do the same type of like warm and fuzzy feeling that like Planet Barbarian gives me, you know? So I wouldn't even put these in the two categories. This is like a 6-star read for me. Morning Glory, I'd put it at like a 3.5. I mean, it's cute. Like, I didn't hate it. I just didn't love it either. Didn't grasp me, I don't think, as much as other people. It also sort of low-key leaned into with the main male character of the Minotaur. He almost gives like if Christian Grey was a Minotaur. Like he did. It was like he was like had money and affluence, and this millennial girl who was the FMC was like broke, and that's why she had to just take this job jacking off minotaurs for money, you know. And it's just like, I don't know. I don't love that. I just didn't love that setup. I don't like the billionaire or like rich man, poor girl setups. It's just not really my thing. So that's maybe another reason why it just didn't grasp me quite as much as like Planet Barbarians did, because even though I could tell the author was trying to give this like warm and fuzzy feeling with the Morning Glory, it just didn't hit the same as Ruby Dixon. It just didn't. Now granted, it's hard to beat Ruby Dixon. I am such a fan of Ruby Dixon's IPB and her other series, so yeah, to read, I'd give it just a solid 3.5. It's cute, it's taboo, it still has sexy parts, you know, but it's definitely not what I'd consider to be my favorite monster romance, by no means. This is The Dragon's Bride by Katie Robert. It is a very popular monster romance novel, one of my favorites, where the main character, Briar Rose, escapes from an abusive marriage and makes a deal with a demon for her freedom, okay? And this leads her to be auctioned off and ultimately married to a dragon humanoid named Sol, okay? And he is a leader of the dragon realm in this story. The story explores forced proximity, the developing relationships, and Briar's struggle to trust and find happiness with Sol after dealing with past trauma with her abusive relationship. Definitely explores lots of taboo things. Like there's even like a fun chasing / primal play part to it, which was absolutely amazing. One of the best parts of this book. And there's a really, really sweet ending, even in the epilogue. So yeah, I loved it. Ooh, and last but not least, we have Katie Roberts' The Dragon's Bride. So this is one of those, Planet Barbarians is too, but this is one of those that is so special to me because this is actually the first monster romance book I ever read. Literally ever read. This is what got me into monster romance. If you go on Monster Romance Book Talk, you're probably going to hear a lot about this because this also very much is heavy in the breeding sphinx. A reoccurring theme you're going to see. But Katie Robert is such a fantastic author, not only in the monster romance space, but also just in dark romance and kind of just romance broadly. Like, she is so talented. And her monster romance books is really what made me love monster romance. I didn't even know I would like that type of thing until I learned about Katie Robert. And then I was like, oh, she writes monster romance. Let me check it out. And these little novellas of hers, they're so tiny and quick. I mean, they're literally novellas, but she packs a punch with these novellas. Okay, this is another 6-star read for me. Yeah, it's like 200 and some pages. It's super short. Let's see. Yeah, it's like barely. It's literally barely 200 pages, even with the epilogue that you get in this book, which by the way, you can only read if you get the physical book. So I would highly recommend getting the physical book. And this cover art, Stunning. This definitely has the prettiest cover art out of all of them. I don't love the Morning Glory Milking Farm one. It almost looks like AI. I don't really love that. It may not be. I don't know. But I don't love that. And Ice Planet Barbarians, the original cover obviously is pretty gross. I do not like the original covers of the IPB books. But Katie Robert, she nailed it with these monster romance books. It looks like a bodice ripper, but it's a dragon man, okay? And let me tell you, Soul is everything, okay? Soul is everything. He is just like this cinnamon roll little cutie, okay? You might look at him and be like, oh, that's scary, okay? But he isn't, okay? He's a cinnamon roll little cutie, and just with an edge, you know? And I ate it up. It's taboo as well, okay? But it slays. It slays every time. It's so good. The entire series, actually, I've read, and they're all amazing. This one will just always have a special place in my heart because it's the first monster romance I ever read. And it really is surprisingly cozy, too, in a way. It's true Katie Robert fashion. I feel like it blends a really good mix of coziness and some like darker themes. The main FMC in this book is a abuse survivor, and that's kind of how she gets wrapped up in the situation with becoming the Dragon's Bride, is because she's trying to get away from this abuser. And Robert loves to play with like taboo, situations, and I just think she just slays it every time. Every book I've ever read from her, she always gets it right, and this is like one of my favorites, truly. Soul is everything to me, and he made me fall in love with this genre. So I would highly recommend it. And I actually think if you're wanting to get into monster romance, this is like a fantastic place to start because it's so short and you can just breeze right through them. They're also on Kindle Unlimited. Yeah, 10 out of 10 recommend. It's pretty much impossible for me to choose between these two for the ranking, but I would say either of these two are going to be solid choices. I give them both 6 stars. Absolutely amazing. I think Morning Glory definitely is the one I would fall. I would say it's still cute, but just not on the same level of these, in my opinion. Like not even close. But like, I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it, and that's fine. Honestly, TikTok really didn't fail me with these. No, these are all overwhelmingly like pretty good suggestions. Yeah.